Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Joy and it's nice to have you here for my second YouTube vlog. I am in the car at the moment. I'm actually on my way to a French-English language class at a little village that's nearby. It's my last full day here in France. I fly out tomorrow. David is with me, he's driving the car. And yeah, I just thought I'd capture a little bit of this to share with you what's been happening this week. So let's get into it. So this week has been a really interesting week. I had originally thought that we would be staying in Nontron and settling on our house that we're buying. However, that was always a bit of a stretch goal. And in France, it usually takes about 3 months for a house to actually settle. And we made an offer 1 month ago and signed a compromis de vente, which is the offer agreement, and unfortunately it took about 3.5 weeks for the vendor to sign as well. It had to be sent off to Germany and come back. But this week we have had confirmation from our notaire, which is like our solicitor, to say that they have received the signed paperwork. So everything is going ahead, but we're not going to get the keys before we leave. But that's okay. It was always a long shot. And really, you know, you sort of pay the money, you get the keys, and then the next day you fly out. It doesn't really make sense anyway, so it's okay. The reason we wanted to do that though was that the house does have a couple of small leaks in the roof. It's an old house with an old roof, and there's a little bit of leakage, so there was some damp carpet, damp wallpaper, things like that we knew about when we first viewed the house, and we wanted to just get in there and sort of clean that up, take out the wet carpet, let things dry out a little bit, and move some roof tiles around so that yeah, hopefully the damp would stop coming in. But yeah, we didn't get the keys. However, the agent did let us in to check on things, and it's been pretty good. There's a little bit of damp still there, but we were able to make some adjustments without getting on the roof to sort that out. And what we also found was that there was still a few things in the fridge and the freezer, and the power's been off for about 8 months. So anyway, we've dealt with that now. So when we come back in a couple of months' time and do get the keys, we won't have to deal with that. So yeah, that's a good thing. So that's happened this week. The other thing is I was able to open a bank account, and if you've ever read anything about buying a house in France and moving to France, you'll know that opening a bank account for some people is very challenging. So because obviously you need to have a reason why you want to open a bank account here in France, and because I'm buying a house, I need an account to have the electricity and other utilities taken, the payments taken out of. So I went into the local branch here of one of the banks, and I made an appointment. And for those of you who know, I used to be a banker for more than 20 years, so I know a little bit about banking. But I went in, made an appointment, all in French, and then I went back a couple of days later and had the appointment, and it was about 90% in French, and I was very happy with how it went, and so much so that the lady that I was working with at the branch complimented me on my French, my pronunciation, as well as my comprehension, particularly for someone who doesn't live here yet. So I was very excited. So a huge thank you to Franny, my French coach, for all of the lessons, and yeah, it's really good. So I was very excited about that. So I now have a French bank account. So that's awesome. So this week I've also been working on some very early stage designs for some of the changes that I want to make to the house that we're buying. So I bought a few French design and interior design, home renovation magazines, because I'm trying to learn the vocabulary of all the things. And I also went along to one of the hardware stores and checked out the sort of stuff that they have here. And again, learning the vocabulary and getting to know the terms that are used for making changes to a house. So that was all really exciting as well. So I feel like I'm making some nice early stage progress there, and I'll share more of that with you later on as things get closer to actually making some changes. The other thing that I'm really happy about this week, and it sort of ties in a little bit with what I'm doing now, which is going off to a French-English language class, but I've been learning French for a while. I use Duolingo, and I also have signed up to Sound More French with Franny. Through both Franny's lessons and the community that she's built, I've made some friends, and some of those just happen to live in this area. And I was lucky enough to be able to meet up with Rose and her husband Jim yesterday. We went over to their place, which is not too far from where we're going to be and where we are, and we shared afternoon tea and lots of conversation with them, and also a very special French tradition. So in France, after Christmas decorations and everything stay up until the 6th or 7th of January, and the 6th of January is l'Epiphanie, and it's the day where everyone sort of celebrates the new year and what's to come, and they do so with a thing called a galette de roi, which is a special cake that has a token inside, that if you find that in your piece of cake, you get to be king or queen for the day, and you wear a special crown. And yesterday Jim found it was a cute little hedgehog that was inside the cake, and that was a really special thing to share with some new friends that are going to be really close by, which was a really lovely day. So thank you, Rose, for the invitation to come and share that with you. So I just finished my first Francais-Anglais conversation group. It was really enjoyable. I met some really lovely people, and I am so excited to be part of this new community. Okay, so we are in Nontron, and this is our street, Rue Camille Chabneau, and the sun is shining very brightly. But it's so this is two ways at the top, and we're heading downhill, which you might be able to tell, and got these little chicanes to go through, a bit of parking on the side, but yeah, this is still a two-way street at this point. And we come down, and now it's one way, so a little bit narrower, still sort of random parking on the sides. This is the stairs to the pizza shop, and this is the wall of the garden beside our house, which is this one right here. I'll just see if I zoom out a bit, how much can we see of it all at once? Okay, so yeah, so this is the house that we are buying. It's not ours yet, unfortunately. We thought it might have been today, but it is not, but that's okay. Not far to go now, not long.